Excuse me. Excuse me, ma'am. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Court. Today, we're talking about our mid-year reading, everything that we've done in 2025 so far. That was a really bad way of introducing the video. I'm so sorry. This is my mid-year book tag. I am following the questions from Sara Crowley's book tag. This is where I got all my questions. If you also want to do the tag, I am listing all the questions down in the description below if you'd like to copy and paste them in the comments. If you'd like to make your tag yourself, consider yourself tagged. I am tagging you if you're watching this. Answer the questions down below of all of these prompts basically, and let me know your answers. If you do this tag on a different social media, your own YouTube video, tag me. If you see this, I'm tagging you. I am doing Sara's version. I will also link her video down in the description below if you want to check out her video. I have never done a mid-year book tag. I believe I did do an end of the year book tag at the end of 2024, but because my channel is so new, this is my first mid-year book tag and I'm really excited to get into it. To get started, I'm going to talk about some statistics about my mid-year reading and what I've done so far in 2025. I have read 99 books this year. As of right now today, I've read 99. Couldn't have read one more to make it even. That's okay. 99 is still really, really good. I have a goal of 100, so if I'm hitting that goal about halfway through, that's pretty good. I still have the goal of wanting to slow down and read, trying to still learn how to do that because I'm at 100 almost. Halfway through. Some statistics from Fable that I picked. I have had a romance heavy reading year so far, followed by fantasy, followed by fiction, and then mystery thriller at the end. But it has been a majority of romance. I'm not sure if they are counting romantasy in the romance or the fantasy or both, but this is my stats according to Fable. Also, according to Fable, I have had a 3.8 average rating, and this is the closest average rating that I have because Fable actually allows you to have half stars and 2.5 and 7.5 stars. So this is the closest average rating that I'm going to have. So I actually really like that feature on Fable. This is not sponsored by any means, but here's my average rating, and this is the closest to the average rating that I'll have because they allow me to input that half star and those 2.5, 7.5 stars. The final statistic I'm going to talk about is the authors that I've read the most of. The author that I've actually read the most of is Suzanne Collins because I have reread all of the original trilogy Hunger Games books and The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And I've also read Sunrise on the Reaping. So that is 5 total books by Suzanne Collins, 4 books from Rebecca Yarros and Elle Kennedy. So they are in second place. And then 3 books from Abby Jimenez. And then you can see the rest of the authors here that I have read multiple books of, 2 books of that I am continuing series from or just reading multiple books from. That is that statistic also from Fable. I am also checking in with my TBR, but you will have to wait until my mid-year reset to see the statistics of my physical TBR and how many books I've accumulated this year. So if you want to know those numbers, you'll have to wait for my mid-year reset, which I'm currently filming after this video and will come out after this video. So I apologize for that, but it'll come soon and I promise I will let you guys know what is up with my physical TBR standing because I'm pretty sure everybody's goal is to read off their physical TBR. It's mine. It's my biggest goal. We're going to check in with it. It's just going to be in my reset. Now we're actually going to get into the questions that you guys came here for. This is the mid-year book tag. I'm just going to roll through the questions, tell you my answers to them. Again, the questions are in the description if you want to answer them yourself. Let's get started. The first question that Sara had was the best book of 2025 so far. So my personal opinion on the best book of 2025 so far. I have to go The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff. This book was out of this world. This is following a family from when the parents meet to when their daughter grows up. It has heavy triggers with addiction and death and grief. And please check trigger warnings if you do plan to read this. It was just done so beautifully well, and I absolutely could not put it down. I have never cried so hard at a book. I have also never related so much my real life to a character like this girl, the young girl in the book. So it really hit home. Some books are fiction and escape. This book was not for me personally, but I still enjoyed every second of it. The lessons in this book, like I don't understand how somebody can write and articulate the feelings in this book so well, but Sara Damoff managed to do so in such a delicate, gentle way that was also iterating the fact that these are heavy topics and need to be discussed. It was such a beautiful book. I think about this book constantly. This is one of those books that I don't think I will ever be able to reread. It was so emotional and I related so much to it because I don't think I can handle the emotional pain again and the relatability that I had with this book again, but it is truly one of the best books I have ever read in my life. The next question that I have is the best sequel that I've read so far, and I'm cheating a little bit, which isn't really cheating because this is my channel and I make the rules, but I haven't really read a sequel. I've read an interconnected sequel, but I wouldn't consider it to be one of the best books I've read this year, so I'm going to say the best prequel I've read. Are we surprised? No. I just did a reading vlog on this book. It's right there if you want to go watch my reading vlog of me crashing out to this book. I'm pretty sure if you've read this, you know the pain, the sorrow, and the emotional grief that is in this book. But this is following Hamish Abernathy, the 50th Prequel and his games, and it is a prequel to the original trilogy because it takes place 24 years before Katniss enters the games. It was done so well. It exceeded every expectation that I had for this book. I have been waiting for a book on Hamish since the original trilogy came out, and it exceeded every expectation that I had. This is a 6-star book. Haven't stopped thinking about it since I read it. Cannot wait for next November when the movie comes out, but not excited to relive that emotional trauma. But this was outstanding, and I can't imagine any less from Miss Suzanne Collins, but this exceeded every expectation that I had. And honestly, she says that she only writes when she has something to say. And I'm so glad that she does that because we get the best possible book from her mind, basically. We get the best possible output in book form. I hope she writes more, but I also want her to write when she wants to write so we get this level of perfection. The next question is a new release that has come out already in the year 2025, but I haven't gotten to yet, and I have 3 specific ones that I'm just going to run through really quick. One is on my July TBR, Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. This is the last book in the Windy City series. I've talked about it so much in my recent videos. I really hope I get to this very soon. This is the last book. This is Rio and Hallie's book. I absolutely love this series so much. The Found Family, I say this every time, The Found Family is the best Found Family I've ever read. Cannot wait to read this. I love Liz Tomford's writing. Another release is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. I love the Powerless trilogy. I am a fan, a stan, and ambassador of the Powerless trilogy. I liked Reckless. I have an unpopular opinion on that, but I'm scared for it to end, and that's why I haven't picked up Fearless yet. But the time is coming for me to read this book. It came out March, April, somewhere around there, I think, and I still haven't picked it up, but the time is coming, especially with Fearful coming out later this year. I need to get on it and read this book immediately. And the last release that I haven't gotten to yet is My Friends by Frederick Bachman. This came out early in May, and I've only read one Frederick Bachman book, but this one has been high on my anticipated read list just because of the blurb on the back, and the one book I did read by Frederick Bachman absolutely blew me away. This sounds like a perfect summer read. I'm hoping to get to it sometime this month, but we'll see. I just don't know. He puts you through such emotional trauma like some other books that I read, and I just have to be in the perfect mood for it. So I keep putting it off, but hopefully someday soon I'll pick this one up. The next question is the most anticipated release for the rest of 2025, and mine is without a doubt Hot Wax by ML Rio. This comes out right around my birthday in September. Happy birthday to me. I have this sitting on my Kindle. Major flex, I know. However, I can't read it. I'm scared to read it. I want to read it. I think about it every day. If We Are Villains by ML Rio is one of my favorite books of all time. Probably my favorite book of all time. I think about that book every single day of my life. This is her new release that comes out in September. It is my most anticipated release of the year 2025. It's sitting on my Kindle. I just can't read it yet. I need to read it closer to release day because I need to have somebody to talk about it with. But this is my most anticipated release of the year. ML Rio is an amazing author. I absolutely love every book that she puts out. She's only put out 2, but I've absolutely adored both of them. They are such insightful pieces of literature, and I love everything that she writes. So I know I'm gonna love this one, and it's about music and it's about traveling, and it's set a few decades ago, I believe. It sounds so good. I literally won't let myself read the blurb, know a lot about it, because I want to go in as blind as possible. That's what I did with If We Were Villains, and it turned out to be one of my favorite books, if not my favorite book of all time. So this is my most anticipated release, and I will be reading it closer to release day, but I do have it on my Kindle, and it sits there and it stares at me, and it wants me to read it so bad. The next question is my biggest surprise in 2025. So I took this as like a book that really surprised me that I liked so much. This is actually a book I did a reading vlog on where YouTubers picked my reads, and that is Heavenly Bodies by Amani Iru. This book is a 5-star book, a 6-star book. The second one to this also comes out later this year. Another anticipated release that I have for the rest of 2025. This book is outstanding. I also think about this book so often, and I want to do a reread of this before the next one comes out. This is so good. I might annotate it when I reread it. This book is so good. It is a romantasy, but their worlds are not powered, but they're like gods and worlds are based upon the stars and the gods and like the zodiac, and it is so interesting, but it's also so detailed, and it's just so good. And the ending of this book had me shook, and there's a cliffhanger, and I think about it all the time because I need to know what happens next. We are so close to knowing what happens next, and I'm on the edge of my seat. I think it's only going to be a duology, which I love. Cannot wait. It just surprised me how much I loved this because it was just marketed to me as a romantasy, but it is so much more than that. It is so deep. It is so detailed. The world is so magical. I want to go there and be there and live there so bad. So good. And it's perfect enemies to lovers. Perfect enemies to lovers. I'm obsessed with it. The next question that we have is favorite new to you author or debut author? Miss V.E. Schwab. Why did I not read V.E. Schwab until this year? Somebody yell at me. I finally picked up Vicious, and then I picked up Addie LaRue, and then I picked up Barrier Bones. I'm going to read everything this woman writes, everything this woman touches. I read every single newsletter she writes because I can't get enough of this woman's writing. Every book I read by this woman is 5 stars. How? Literally how? She is so amazing. Her presence on social media is just a delight. I'm absolutely obsessed with her. I love every single thing that she puts out. I'm so glad that I have her backlist to read as well so that I can continue to read her work and not have nothing left. But I'm going to take it slow so I can have more things to read from this author because she is one of my favorite authors of all time now. And every book of hers that I've read being a 5-star, she has high standards, but I just know they're going to be good. I just know it. My next question is newest fictional crush. Rowan from Enchantra. I don't have many. It's either Lorenzo, which he is up there, or Rowan from Enchantra, but I'm trying not to repeat books. This was so good. I liked Phantasma, but not as much as Enchantra. Enchantra was everything and more. I loved the games. I loved how there was not too much romance, just enough plot. Rowan was everything that I loved and more. This book was everything that I loved and more when I read it. I think it was right book, right time because I absolutely adored everything about this book. I gave it 5 stars. It was just so unique and magical, and I loved it, and I cannot wait for the next one in this series because it left off a little mysterious, and I'm really ready for the next one too. The next question is the most beautiful book that I got this year. I'm taking the question as, or the most beautiful book I own, which is the same because I got this year, so I have to mention it. I held it up earlier. It's my Owl Crate edition of Barrier Bones, and you guys can take a look at the end papers and the sprayed edges and just everything, the slipcase. They really outdid themselves with this book, and I am utterly speechless at how spectacular they made this book and how closely it resembles everything in the story. The little Easter eggs for the story is fantastic. The quotes they chose to put on the slipcase, fantastic. Everything about this special edition makes me love this book even more, makes me want to reread this book. I love everything about this special edition. It is by far the prettiest book I own, for sure. How can we move on from that? Because that is stunning. The next question is books I need to read by the end of the year. I told myself that I would read the entire Reaniverse this year. I haven't even started it. So I need to at least start the Reaniverse this year. This is on my July TBR, so hopefully I do get to it. But I would like to at least start, if not finish, the Reaniverse this year. She just keeps adding books, so I'm probably not going to finish it, but I would at least like to make my way through a good chunk of the Reaniverse, starting with the Royal Elite series. We'll see how far I get into it. Another series that I need to read before the end of the year is finishing the Beartown series. I read this book in January, and I haven't read the other two. They're sitting right behind me. I need to finish this series. This series is outstanding. This book was so good. Shook me to my core, but was outstanding. And I need to finish the series so I know what happens to this little town that I care so deeply about now. Need to read it by the end of the year. There's 2 books left. Us Against You and The Winners. We'll be reading them hopefully during the winter months, but before the end of 2025. My next question is, how many 5 stars have I had this year? Out of the 99 books I've read, 17 of them have been 5 stars. I give out 5 stars quite often. Not often like every book, but if it's a 5 star, it's a 5 star. And 5 stars is a feeling. So if I'm feeling a 5 star, it gets a 5 star. I did not count any rereads. So all of these rereads, these 3 right here, if I count those, it would be 20 5 stars. So between 17 to 20% of my 99 books have been 5 stars, which I think is pretty good. The next question is books I want to reread in the year 2025. I took this as books that I would like to reread this year, not books that I've read this year and would like to reread in the future. It could be either way. But I have specifically set aside books that I want to reread this year because I love them that much. There's 4 in particular. The first being The Two of Us by Taylor Torres. This was my favorite book of 2023 and I haven't reread it since, and I really would love to. It is one of my favorite romances of all time. It really pulled on my heartstrings and was very emotional, and I loved the story, and I would like to annotate my copy that I got after the fact of reading it on my Kindle. So that's why I want to reread it. Another is The Raft by S.A. Bodine. This was a read that I read in middle school, and it was my favorite read of all time in middle school. You can see by the copy how much I love this book. I haven't reread it since. I read it once, and I continually think about it. It is one of my favorites from when I was like 11. Utterly changed my life. If you haven't read this and need a fast read, pick this up. The ending is insane. Another romance, my favorite romance of 2024, was Curated by Nellie Wilson. I love this book. The way that these characters are so real, it's just a breath of fresh air, and it is a true, wholesome romance book, and I need these characters back in my life. I want to reread it. And finally, Who's Surprised? Not me. I think about this book every day. I'm not going to talk about it a lot because I talk about it every single day of my life. I'm going to reread this soon because I need it. To better my psyche, I need to reread this book, I think. The next to last question. We're trucking along. The next question is a book that I liked with mixed reviews. Now, I saw that this had mixed reviews, and I was confused because it's an Abby Jimenez book. But when I picked it up, I absolutely loved it. It's not my favorite Abby Jimenez book by any means, but I genuinely enjoyed this book. I had such a good time. I listened to the audio, and the narration was so good. This book was so cute. It was exactly what I needed at the time when I read it. Silly, fun time. Emotional, as always, with Abby Jimenez. There were some parts that took me out of the story, so again, not my favorite Abby Jimenez book, but I didn't hate it, and I didn't feel what other people are saying in their negative reviews. So, I genuinely enjoyed it, and I was confused on the mixed reviews for this book when I read them. And finally, our last question is 5-star predictions for the rest of 2025. Obviously, Rewind It Back by Liz Tom Ford, which we mentioned earlier before, and it's on my July TBR. A V.E. Schwab book, because all of her books have been 5 stars, and I need to read Vengeful before Victorious comes out, which we don't know when that's coming out. But I read Vicious earlier this year, and I really need to read Vengeful. I absolutely loved the beginning of this series. Can't wait to continue. Vicious was 5 stars. I think this one will be too. Two Twisted Crowns. I gave One Dark Window 4 stars, but I gave The Night and the Moth 5 stars, and I've heard Two Twisted Crowns is better than One Dark Window, so this is a 5-star prediction for me as well. And finally, Hot Wax by ML Rio. I love ML Rio's writing. This is a 5-star prediction because it's my most anticipated release of the year, and I'm really hoping it lives up to the hype that I personally have for it. Cannot wait to read it. And that is all for my mid-year book tag. Again, check out Sara's channel where I got all my questions. If you want to answer the questions, they're down in the description below. Also in the description, if you want to find me anywhere else on social media, all my links are in the description below. If you don't want to answer the questions, comment your most anticipated release for the rest of 2025 and your favorite book that you've read so far this year, and I'll hopefully see you guys in my next video real soon. Bye guys.